in the first Lucky Tackle box, the January Lucky Tackle box unboxing. If you guys want to go back watch that video, you'll see this lure, and it's like an 8 jointed section, and it's a 4-inch one, and the tail looks really realistic when it's in water. I tried it out just messing around, and it looks really realistic. I'm probably going to use this in Minnesota because it kind of imitates perch, and the perch that we used to catch up there at least last year, I don't know if they go out any bigger. Or about this size, and it kind of looks like a perch. So I'm probably going to be using that in Minnesota. On the top row, we also have some fingernail clippers that I use for like line and stuff. We have some more of these little spinner bait kind of things. I got 2 of these, and my profile picture here on YouTube is a 19-inch crappie. I know it doesn't sound realistic, but that's what I caught in Minnesota right next to the boat on this little spinner bait, chatter bait, whatever the heck it is. I caught it right next to the boat on this little thing. And I'm pretty sure it was tailing me all the way in because I thought I saw something behind my lure because the water up there is really clear. Here we have another like inline kind of lure. This is the Black Furry. You can use these also for northern up in Minnesota. I haven't really used those yet, but now we're gonna start kind of getting into some of the Lucky Tackle Box stuff. Here we have this little jerk bait. We have 2 of these that look almost exactly the same, but one's bigger and one has a lip on it. But there's the lip. This one's shorter. This one's probably like 3 or 4 inches, counting the, yeah, I'm gonna say it's 3 inches because it's almost the same size as this cool little thing. But this would work around here. I know a lot of people like to use jerk baits in the winter. And then the bigger one is the lipless one, and I haven't really used these yet. Next, we have these Yum F2 Ferocity little crappie jigs things. And these are kind of like bright and dull colors, so I'd like hook these up on these little jig heads, Crappie Magic jig heads that I have right there. They're painted premium round jig heads. They're 1/8 ounce right there. I tried jigging for crappie up there because there's just one spot that everybody goes to on that lake in Minnesota. And I tried jigging with this little thing. Had no luck. It's a little messed up just because it's been in my tackle box for so long. But it was really nice if I wanted to. I think my dad might have had one of these on and caught a nice sized bass on it. And next we have all these little Joes. They're the things I was kind of talking to you guys about. We use these in Minnesota because it also like helps with trolling, gets the fish's attention. So here we have, they're like size 2 hooks and they're straight. But they have these little spinner spoon things on them, and that like flashes and gets the fish's attention. And these work really nice up there because they come in different colors. Like this is a perch, kind of pink, bluegill, all in one kind of thing. But these are really, really nice up there. We have a few off-brand ones from Minnesota, and there's like a pink one. But we like to use the little Joes because that's what my family's pretty much been using almost all I've been fishing with them. And then I have like 3 or 4 of these for my dad's work. They're just little scissors that work nice for cutting your line. And while we're on like the topic of like scissors and stuff, every fisherman has a pair of these in their tackle box. Some needle nose pliers. Everyone has these, as you guys can see. I've had these for a few years, and they're all like gutted up from fish and everything, because usually the fish swallow the hooks. Next, I'll go on to like all my Lucky Tackle Box stuff, and then I have a bunch of like miscellaneous weights and stuff like bolt weights, egg weights, split shot weights. Here I have 2 spools on a line. I got this Stren 15-pound test. I put this on if I'm doing a little light fishing in Minnesota. And then we have this 12-pound test, which sometimes I use around here, but usually I'll be using the 15-pound. And I recently got a bait caster, but That's what I just have that on there for now, and pretty soon I'm gonna be getting some braid and stuff like that. First thing from Lucky Tackle Box we have is this little lipless crankbait. I used this around here once, and it doesn't really have a lot of action, so you gotta work this one around quite a bit because there's no action to this whatsoever. It just kind of like wiggles back and forth. But next we have this little fat looking crankbait, and I don't really like the way these look, but apparently the fish do because I got one to bite on it around here a little bit ago, and there's a little bit like weeds and stuff on there, so I just picked that up. But this one kind of looks like a perch, so I'll use that in Minnesota too. And I really like this lure because this one has a lot of action to it, and I like that in a lot of lures. Next, we have this little crawdad crankbait that I haven't tried this one out. All I did was try those two out, but we got this little crankbait thing. It has a lot of noise here. Let me show you guys. That one has a lot of noise, so that'll work very nice. Like after spring, you could probably use it right now if you wanted to, if you got one. Any kind of crawdad lure would be perfect this time of year. Next we have this 401 craw jig. It has like I think it's like a 1 ounce weight on this. It's pretty heavy, and it's a really sharp hook. I'm going to use these on this little baby pack of craw that also came with this in this box. It has pork fat and salt and scent in it, but it says it's the go-to bait, and that is in every angler's tackle box, which I didn't even know about it. So I don't know why it says that, but I'm going to pick that up with that green pumpkin crawdad looking jig, and this will look really nice moving along the bottom. Next we have this little topwater frog I bought from Bass Pro. This is a weedless frog. It has this little weight on the bottom, kind of where the butt is, and it has these really long skirts that I might trim off a little bit. But this will be a really nice topwater lure, and a lot of bass fishermen say that topwater is their favorite kind because usually you get to see the fish strike, which you don't usually get to see on some of the like regular baits I use for bass. I got this at Bass Pro. It was like $5 or $6. It's not the name brand Live Target kind of one, which I wanted to get, but this will work just as nice, and I like it. Next, I got this off of Lucky Tackle Box. It's by Live Target. This is the Copper's Poppin' Frog. It's kind of in a green color, and it has this little fuzzy thing that probably could be trimmed up. And I don't really like the texture of it because it feels weird, but this will look really nice on the water. Next, you guys saw this in my last Lucky Tackle Box video, is this little chatter frog. This is going to be really nice to use. I really love this lure. It just looks really nice, and it will work very, very nice fishing around here. Next, I just have another little trailer for that, and then I got this bobber that I haven't used. I don't really use bobbers around here, but in dock fishing in Minnesota, I'll hook that up to like a little Joe, and that will work really, really nice up there. Let me see how we're doing on time. Okay, sorry guys. We got about 4 or 5 minutes, so I'm gonna try and hurry up. Next we have all these hooks, miscellaneous like packaged up hooks. We have these Mustad big tube worm hooks. We have these grip pin edge hooks from Mustad. We have these True Turn Hook More Fish hooks. I use those around here too. We have these Eagle Claw plain shank. These are size 1s and size 2s. These are 5/0 hooks, the grip pin edge, and 4/0 hooks, which is the worm hooks. I also have a bunch of miscellaneous, like kind of, I have miscellaneous hooks that are just kind of like piled in here, and I'm not going to take those out because they're just really, really small. We have these Baitmate fish attractants that I got in Lucky Tackle Box. We have the bass and then the game fish scents. I got these at Bass Pro. These are worm weight hooks, also known as like bullet hooks. that you use when you're doing like Texas rig, or you could just use them if you just want to go fishing. We have a bunch of these swivels. I got some loose swivels in here, but these are just package swivels, barrel swivels. Mostly I use these ball bearing swivel things. I don't know where they are, but that's what I use around in Minnesota. Next we have these Mustad. These are Mustad treble hooks. I have like 6 of those in here. Really nice if you want to use them as like replacement hooks for anything. And that's pretty much it for like these 2 little like stack things. And so let's move on to the bottom. We have those net bait. I showed you guys these earlier, the baby packer craws. Then we have these Reaction Strike 4-inch thin shads that you could hook up to like a swim jig or something like that. We have these Biwa 4-inch swim bait, Silver Retrieve swim baits. These are in kind of like a blue with like a glitter kind of flake in it. But oh my god, you could hook these up to a swim jig too. These are almost exactly the same as the thin shads, except those are the thin shad are a little smoother, hence the name thin shad. Next we have these Bass Pro Shops Tournament Series Finesse Fin worms. These are pretty much just the same exact thing as Senko's, just Bass Pro's brand. I got these in the green pumpkin flavor, I think. Nope, watermelon seed red. But it looks exactly like green pumpkin. So I got those, hooked those up to Texas rig if you want. You could also trim those. These ones are like 10 inches or something. 6.5 inches. Next, we got Bass Munitions Breacher Beavers. Hook these up to that. If you had a football jig head, I've heard that works really nice with those. I have this stringer for fishing around here. If I catch a lot of fish, I'll hook them up to the stringer. Next, we have these bottom bouncers that we use for walleye in Minnesota. What these do is they just pretty much bounce off the bottom. You hook this up to your line. You hook this. Hang on, let me think about this. Alright, so you hook this up to your line, and then like your regular normal line, you tie your line on here, and then you get your little joes. They have this little loop in the end. Hook that onto here, and then put your bait on the hook. That comes with the little joe. And we use those for walleye with leeches. That's pretty much it down here. I have some split shot weight and some tape that I use quite a bit, like when we're traveling, just tape your rods together. But I'm going to hurry up because I know that there's not a lot of time left, but I'll show you guys my whole tackle box here really quick. Here we got this little row rack kind of thing, and then the top row, and everything, and then the bottom. But I'm going to cut it off here, guys, because we're just over 15 minutes. I'm going to have to edit some of this stuff out. So if there's something you guys don't see in here, like I'll edit something out that's probably not that important. But that's pretty much my tackle box, and I'll see you guys next time. Might have a video out later today on this little tip and trick kind of thing for like a fire starter. But I'll see you guys later, and have fun fishing.